I think that's actually really difficult because no matter what, that person is always going to feel as though they're on display. I think that's it. It's almost like you become part of a display, and people. I think what I would do is go directly and discuss it. I would work with that student. I think you give people, you work at talking about how they're going to cope with it, how they're going to handle it. You don't avoid it. You just go, and like scenarios. It's almost like, you can do this little dance, you learn the choreography of when someone does this, this, and this to you, how are you going to handle it? It's like cue cards. And I don't think it's ever easy, and I think you need to express that to somebody and talk to them about it. But if you give them examples of how to cope with it, or to head on directly, confront it, so you give them substance on how to handle it. So I think some of that is just, and it could just be role playing, giving them that ammunition of how to handle confrontation like that, because it's really aggressive behavior on others. It's just when people don't look the same or behave differently, the first thing we do is we want to stare at it. Stories that might depict situations like that. So first you introduce it, through a story, maybe through something inanimate, or you might go and find for example, a dog that's tripod, bring him in. Or if you have a child who has a grandparent in a wheelchair, they're less likely, to look at somebody and say, oh, wow, look at that. They're, a cripple, or they're this or that. Mm-hmm. So when you have familiarity, so I think that's how you introduce things to people. You introduce things to kids. And you may start out slowly, this is one lesson where, or you have somebody draw something. If you were going to talk about what would what would a normal person look like to you? What would a person with a disability look like to you? They may not even know what disability is if they,